So you see we kind of got it boom, 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 boom. It's this zig, zag, zig, zag that allows these trees to grow to their fullest potential.
That none of them are gonna come back, that none of them are mine, and then she's been sleeping with every single one of my friends.
What? Yeah, you don't need me to say it. This is not for you. This is for that guy that's watching that you don't know. If you want to take this camera, people want to see the Ford in action. Yeah. That typing is what puts food on your table for your 5 kids, because you can't keep it in your pants. That's all.
We'll get a direct boring machine and call it a day.
Well, there you go. He likes to spend my money. He spends it too well. Before I had a fence installed, I actually looked out my window and saw one of my neighbors picking up dog poop from their yard, carrying it across the street, and throwing it in my yard. And I'm like, you know what? I guess that could be my dog, or it could be any neighbor that walks down the street's dog, but I'm not going to say anything about it. So I didn't. I said nothing. But now something different has happened. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have a cat that lives outside. His name is Captain Fuzzyballs. Hello, Captain. Hi, Captain. Who's good kitties? Where are you good kitties?
Yelling at my ear.
He's yelling at you?
Yeah.
Hi, Captain. There you go, buddy. Captain lives there. And he keeps my property clean of rats. But I find this as soon as I open the door. I actually moved it. Did you see this, Zach?
What is it?
What does it look like to you?
Bag of dog poo?
I don't know. Have you seen my dogs? My dog poo would not fit in this bag. My dog poo would take a bag 5 times bigger than this.
Yeah, I've seen how a big bear in them are. Well, at least it's not on fire.
I know, but who would drop this off on my front door? This looks like the cat's poo.
Might be your neighbors returning. I always see pumpkin every once in a while scurry across the road, so.
Yeah, I think the neighbors are returning the gift of keeping the neighborhood clean and clear of rats and mice and everything else. But what are your neighbors like?
It's like, we can't make this stuff up. We're not. It's like, we're not like any of those other people where it's like, it's staged and there's scripts and all this other stuff. There ain't no scripts here. You can find the scripts. Let us know in the comments.
Well, yeah, these guys are great. They're great people across the road from me there.
The rest of the cul-de-sac, not so much.
No, the neighborhood. The neighborhood. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. I had, when we were doing all the tree work,
yeah,
I had multiple neighbors ask me if I was going to call the city and have them remove all the trees for me. That's the same look I had on my face, Zach.
It's like, you don't need to run to Big Brother for if you got a fart in the woods.
And it just made me realize that sometimes people that live in neighborhoods just don't even comprehend. They're still in control of their own.
It's the entire, what is it? I don't know. How many generations has it been since, like, Vietnam, World War II era? Like, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations at least?
I don't know. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, no, you have to remember, after those, like, the hardened generations, like, how your dad, your grandfather, Uncle Tom grew up in those kind of hardened times. That the generations that came after that have just been spoon-fed everything. They haven't had to work for it. They haven't had to do nothing. It's the generation that grew up with the mindset of government control,
And I think that's why our government has gotten out of control.
Oh,
because we allow them to.
We allowed them to.
We give them the right to control, manipulate, say what we can and can't do. We think the government knows better for ourselves than we know for ourselves. A lot of people, not country folk so much.
No, that's why I grew up country, then moved to the city, and then I moved back out to the country after I learned that basically everything is falling apart in the cities.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah, it was the reason the bag was squished open was because it was sitting right there, and I stepped on it.
Like I said, at least it wasn't on fire.
Yeah, at least it wasn't on these guys, the trees.
Trees and lights and...
Trees and lights, and
So
look at that.
How long until these things are wrapped in decorative lights that are solar paneled?
I don't know. All I want is privacy. I want people to stop spying on me. I am so done with people looking in my yard and seeing what I had to do, and I was forced to remove every tree. Well, they were all dead. I wasn't forced. Nobody made me, but I didn't want them dropping on somebody. All right, well, let's get everything moved away, and then let's kind of set these up and start getting these planted. You want to hop in the excavator? We'll just clear that out, and then I'll just back right straight up to where we got to go. Well, maybe I'm overreacting, but if one of my neighbor's cats crapped in my yard, I wouldn't bag it up and set it right on their door, so the first thing they do when they open the door and step outside is walk in it. I would probably just, if it was in the way, I would pick it up and just throw it under one of my trees or bushes and be grateful for the extra fertilizer. That's maybe the difference between the way a country person thinks and not country. All right, we are going to cover up that fence right there. It's too much fence, and it's too much being up on the hill. People can look in, see exactly what we're doing. So the idea is we're going to be planting trees on the bottom side of this fence, just in a place where from the road the trees will grow up tall enough. And then I picked arborvitae specifically for a reason. A, they're super freaking cheap. B, they grow up, make a great privacy screen. And C, when you trim them and you can kind of contour them and mold them to what you want them to look like, they're easy to maintain. So good and good. Right, Zach?
What are you complaining about you doing work other than typing?
Oh, what? Yeah. That typing is what puts food on your table for your 5 kids, because you can't keep it in your pants. That's all. Who does have 5 kids? They are the cutest things ever.
Have an army. It's like 10 years.
The only good thing about you is you make good-looking kids. Your kids they can't be yours. I think your wife has got a good relationship with the mailman, because them kids of yours are way cuter than anything you could pop out.
We always have a running bet going that it's like that none of them are going to come back, that none of them are mine, and then she's been sleeping with every single one of my friends.
I don't think I'd be a running bet I'd want to have with my significant other.
It's just a gag we have going, because we know that they're all...
If you look closely at Zach's hair, it's dark, black, and brown, and every single one of his kids is blonde. And his wife isn't even blonde. So...
No, she was blonde up until she was like 10.
Just keep telling yourself that. You want to take this camera? People want to see the Ford in action.
Not us rambling back and forth.
The Ford's in action. We all 6 cylinders, baby. Listen to that engine. I think the tranny's actually starting to click.
Well, hey, how many miles you got on this thing? And it's
84,393.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to change the transmission fluid at a certain point.
All right, well, let's put you guys on time lapse while we unload. Let's unload. Where the hell are we gonna put this thing? All right, I know you know this. What? Yeah, you don't need me to say it, but this is not for you. This is for that guy that's watching that you don't know, right? The reason when we build a privacy fence, a privacy hedge, we don't just put them side by each. I mean, and we could, but we have like plenty of space. These will go 3 to 4 foot wide and 10 to 15 foot tall. So what we do is we stagger them so that they can get as thick and full as they possibly can fat-wise and as tall without choking each other out. So you see we kind of got it boom, 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 boom. It's this zig, zag, zig, zag that allows these trees to grow to their fullest potential without being directly on top of each other. Now we got to straighten these sons of a duck out. They're as crooked as the day is long. No mulching, no maintenance. This is low. This is the lowest maintenance. The only thing we're going to do is stick a garden hose up on top and water these sons of a duck so that they can grow in and give us some privacy from the road.
One thing I wish we would have thought of when we were putting in your damn fence, to dig a trench to put out another hose spigot out here and all over on the other side before we put in the fence.
I'll just have you tunnel one underneath. I'll have you bore one.
I know. We'll get a direct boring machine and call it a day.
Well, there you go. He likes to spend my money. He spends it too well.
We're gonna use the new earthquake auger, bigger with the 5-gallon bit. And I just gotta swap out this bit right here that's on the thing right now. Boy. Then I went this morning, ran to Danner's and got a yard of pulverized. Use the black dirt, because we're gonna line the holes with that after we dig the holes. Nice good nutrients to get into, because soil around here is not greatest for getting stuff established. Alright, I'm going to swap out this. So it's pretty easy. You just flip this little clip, pull that out. You see it's a little clip and pin. Slide that right off. Pass that direction. Should just pin right in place. And there we go. And then clip it back in place. Now she's locked in. That's pretty easy. On and off. We'll get this fired up. Go from there. As you can see, it's kind of hard packed material, so that's why we're putting in the dirt.
If you have a lot of trees to plant, this thing is phenomenal. It's an auger made by Earthquake, and what that leg does is it keeps that auger from kicking out on you. So instead of it being a two-man operation, one guy can easily run this thing without a whole lot of worry. It has a bunch of different heads. This is the 5-gallon head, so specifically for trees this size, it works great. Not making this up. The same neighbor that I looked out the window and saw throwing dog crap in my yard came over to me one time. We had a fox. We don't have a fox anymore, unfortunately. We had a fox, and she had gotten out. And this same neighbor came over to me and said that our fox, just a little playful, it was a kit, attacked the neighbor's big freaking furry dog. And this was before we had German Shepherds. And this dog was not a nice dog. We didn't have the fence up. Otherwise, my fox wouldn't have gotten out. It just got out. I mean, actually it didn't get out. We used to let it out. I used to let it go, and it would hang out with us, and then we'd just go inside, and it would come inside with us, and it just did everything we did with us. Anyway, it was one of those times, but it had gotten out on its own, somehow, way, shape, or form. Raising kids, it is what it is. The neighbor comes over and says it witnessed my fox attacking the neighbor's dog, which is 100% crock of crap, because my fox was raised with 2 dogs. It loves dogs. It was a kit, not a full-grown fox, just a little playful one. It was just trying to play. And this dog that it attacked actually charged my children, came into our yard on multiple different occasions, charging my kids, and they had to barricade themselves in the house as the dog is barking at our back door trying to get in at them.
Alright, as you can see, we got a nice layer of pulverized dirt down there. Not that you can really see with the shadows. The sun has to be always right in the way, doesn't it? I'm going to take that out of that pot, set it in there, get it all nice. Probably go grab a rake, rake some of this away, put some nice dirt around it on top, and go from there.
Yeah, so about a week ago, somebody took one of our packages, cut open the end of it, stole what was ever in the package, and then left the package sitting on our front porch. And another reason for the fence is somebody actually was surveying our property, watched me take my 2 dogs into the house, went into my truck, and stole my backpack, my $1,500, all my cameras, a checkbook, wrote out forged checks, forged tens of thousands of dollars of checks, and she was caught. Are you waiting for me? Yeah, are you waiting? You can't come out. There's a ledge right there. Scooter. Boop. Boop. Oh, you missed. Oh, you missed. There it is. You got it. You got it. Yay. Oh, that's my little one.
Alright, so the root balls are a little dry, so I had to go get the hose to soak them down a little bit just so you can break them apart, or at least loosen them up. Down the hole as well. So this stuff is place to go.
So Zach talks pretty much 24/7. So he's not actually talking to you or I right now. This is just Zach doing what he does while he's working. He has this live action narration of everything he does. So while he's working, he's just talking.
Down in there. Here. I just probably got to go up a little bit more. Here. around it. And we should be good.
Hey boys. What do you think of the sea of gold junipers?
I see you like them.
Oh, dude, those things are gorgeous.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I can't get her to clear up yet. Every time it rains, though, it fills back in with mud from the yard.
Mine was like that for a long time too.
Was
I
it?
Remember, yep. And then I even had like one night it was so thick of mud in there, you just see these bubbles come, and it was cold out, so you had these little foggy bubbles popping, and the lights were shining up on the trees. It looked cool. It looked like just a mud bog. But
So-
it took a little while at first for it to clean itself out.
So you know what I woke up to this morning? Somebody left a pile of cat on my door, on my front door, bagged up. I can't make this up. I threw it out. And they didn't leave it like so you could like. I walked out and stepped directly in it.
Was it like kitty litter
No,
mixed or?
no, but it couldn't be from my dogs because they are not out. They're not allowed out unless they're under our supervision, and our cats are allowed out to run the neighborhood.
So you think somebody bagged your cat's poop up and
Well, I know exactly who did it. I know, I mean, because I've watched this guy throw dog crap in our yard before. And when I first moved in here, our bonfire pit was right here. It was actually right about right there. And this guy came over, and Nikki was making a fire, and it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he's like, Nikki, don't make that bonfire. She's like, frightened the hell out of her.
Right.
So then we moved the bonfire pit down to over here and had it down here to keep it away, further away from the neighbor. But that wasn't good enough. We still got complaints. So then we moved it to where the orange trailer is, and that wasn't good enough. We still got complaints. So now our bonfire pit is well behind the black Jeep on the other side of it. And now I wake up to a bag of cat crap sitting on my front door. I have awesome neighbors.
I remember years ago getting in trouble for snowplowing your neighbor's driveway, one of your neighbor's driveways once.
Oh yeah,
Right at us.
yeah.
Like, okay, sorry, you were just trying to be a nice guy, and it was like a heavier snow. And
Yep. Sent you out in the skid loader to go clean up neighbors' driveways, and you got yelled at.
yep.
All right, so we got all of them planted in, and these last two I just need to water again, or need to water for the first time. Otherwise, all the rest of these I've at least given them a drink. And now it's just kind of go through, clean up all the rocks and whatnot that were kicked up from digging the holes. Maybe go through and rake them a little better. But yeah, all of them are in. Ready to go. Oh, ready to just water and watch them grow. That's about all I got. I used to be a green thumb, but then that side of my family kind of disappeared, so kind of that skill got lost. But still retain some of it to put in trees. So, but all right, that's it for today on that. I don't know if Stan is gonna put something else in and give it over to him. So take it easy.
So did you use that auger for the entire thing?
Yeah, even with that kickstand thing, it was still pretty brutal on the hands to hit. Check out some of these pots, what the rocks I was pulling out of the ground in them.
Yeah, the little rocks. But yeah,
Little rock. She pulled that out of the ground.
yeah. So it's good power to that thing.
Oh, she stops herself because we have hit some pretty hard stuff underneath, but nothing pulled out of the hole.
Oh, did you show these guys what you're using for equipment? Did you give them a good once over? So this is the Earthquake auger system. It's the Dually 52cc two-stroker. Will you lift her up for us? Let's just demonstrate it so these guys know. So you can get these at the company's name is getearthquake.com. They're not paying us to say this. This is our own tool. But if you want a solo operator and you want to be able to auger without requiring two guys, can guys do this? What do you feel?
Even with that head on there and hitting every rock in your yard, I still didn't. It didn't spin. The whole thing didn't spin completely around like you see some of those videos.
Right. Okay. So it's getearthquake.com, and this is the earthquake auger, and it only fits on an earthquake head. They've got them specifically designed. But now here's the thing, Zach. We're gonna extend this fence line. We're gonna call that one good, but we're gonna create a privacy row from here alongside the road. Let's kind of walk it and show you what we're thinking. I'm gonna go grab more trees. So we're gonna just go one, and we're gonna spread them out a little further. We'll come through here, and then as we walk toward the road, because we've got zero privacy in here 6 months out of the year. Other 6 months we're good, but we're gonna go right here. So we're gonna trim some of this stuff up in here, and we're gonna snake a row of arborvitaes in here. Look at, we got this freaking chunks of concrete we got to deal with. We're gonna have to work around them. We're just gonna come right in here. We don't want to put them directly underneath the power lines. Otherwise, I'd raise it up along the edge right there. We'll figure out the final placement, but we got more trees to go. Here, the crap trees take the brunt of it, and then there, you know, it'll grow up 10 feet tall, 15 feet tall. We'll get some privacy out of it. We'll probably have to snake her up the hill, come up the backside there, and end her somewhere about there. So more trees to go.